I am Christina Healy. I am a cancer survivor, stage 2 triple negative breast cancer. I was diagnosed in 2018 with bilateral breast cancer, went through extensive chemotherapy with radiation treatments, and today I'm a survivor. In 2020, I started the HEALS Initiative, which is a local not-for-profit dealing with breast cancer and mental health. We raise awareness and funds and put it back into our community. The Pink Mask campaign initially started this year with wanting to deliver hope to those struggling behind closed doors. Going through a pandemic while trying to deal with cancer can be very lonely and isolating, so we wanted to offer hope with our pink masks. 2018, after I was diagnosed with bilateral breast cancer, I was lucky enough to meet Dr. Jane. He is a local surgeon at Strathroy Middlesex General Hospital. He has followed with my cancer care up until today. So when they had spoke about wanting to get the radiography, mammography machine, that was a chance for the HEALS Initiative to really be able to help on a bigger scale. We launched the Pink Mask campaign, where 100% of the mask sales is being funded back to the breast assessment program at Strathroy Middlesex General Hospital. So in 2020, I was able to partner up with Dr. Zahed Khan. He is the manufacturer actually of the medical masks. So when we ventured into this program together, he's local, so it's local supporting local. We wanted to be able to deliver the highest kind of quality for the safety of the people that need mask safety. These are medical grade with a Health Canada approval. Everything is staying local. So with everyone on this team, they've been affected with cancer. We wanted to just be able to give back in a bigger way.
My name's Christine Dustin, and I was 33 at the time that I was diagnosed with bilateral breast cancer. I was stage 1 on both sides, actually. I think that I was probably one of those like rare unicorn young people that came through the door with the doctors that you kind of got the looks and the heads turned when it was bilateral both sides. I had symptoms only on one side, and then it turns out after multiple mammograms and biopsies that I actually had tumors and precancerous tissue on both sides. My medical team at St. Joe's was amazing. My surgeon, my plastic surgeon, my medical oncologist at LHSC, I couldn't have asked for better care from them, but there's a huge void in the system when they give you your diagnosis, you go home, you know the plan medically, so you know surgery's happening, you know chemo's happening, you know radiation is happening, but then what do you do with the 2 kids that are at home? Sorry. There is a void when people go through this journey to be able to move on with daily life. You know, when you're done treatments, it's actually pretty scary because everything that's laid out on a paper is now done. And people go, you look good, like you're done. But then in your mind, you still struggle with, how do I just process what I just went through? You know, there's lots of times that, you know, I was really down and out or depressed, and there's people like family and friends that, like, you have to lean on those people in order to get through it. You have to be able to call someone else that has been through it and ask questions and feel okay with that and share stories. That was a huge help to me, for sure.
So my name is Mila Robertson. I was diagnosed in, I'm already gonna start.
It's okay, it's okay, it's okay.
So I was diagnosed in 2018 with stage 1 ductal carcinoma breast cancer. I had just turned 36 years old. Obviously rocked my world. Because I was young and healthy from what I thought. I did surgery. I had a bilateral mastectomy done, and they took all my tissue out. They put implants in, and then I was told like 0.000 chance of it returning, and it came back. As I was dealing with that, I found another lump, which they then told me that it was just necrosis, that it was nothing to worry about. But obviously that didn't sit well in my stomach, and I went with my gut and I had them check it out. And shortly after I got my second lump removed, I had another lump. Then they tested that, came back cancerous again. I ended up going from stage 1 to stage 3. So it became aggressive. I chose not to do radiation or chemo because I was able to do gene testing where they were able to test whether or not radiation chemo was good in my body. Radiation would have only worked 14% in my body, and chemo would only work 33% in my body. But because it became aggressive, I would have to do chemo for a year straight, and it would give me pulmonary heart disease. So I had to weigh out the good and the bad, and I chose not to do that stuff because in my heart and soul, it felt like that was the wrong path to go down. It's definitely been the hugest mental battle I've ever experienced. And, you know, I've been through a lot in my life. But I've had a great support system. I've met amazing people to help and guide me and keep my spirits up. And it just is something that you never want to hear, or something that you think you're going to hear when you're 70, right? Not when you're 36 years old.
Being an only child, a daughter of a single mother, and then a daughter that has to watch her mom suffer from cancer, right? So I didn't play like normal games that other girls would. Like, I would play with Barbies and stuff like that and whatever, but I would play hospital at my house. So like, because we had a hospital bed in my mom's bedroom as well for her, because it was uncomfortable for her to sleep on the other bed. I made wings in the house. Like, this is the C wing. This is the cancer ward. This is like, that's the sort of like games I would play in the house. You know, my mom was amazing with preparing me for the fact that she might not make it. And, one day she said, "Lindsay, we have to go out to the drugstore." So I was 10 years old at the time. And I said, okay. And she's like, I'm going to make you buy sanitary napkins. And I was like, she had explained to me what a period was and all of that, but I didn't have a period yet. I was 10. And she said, so we went, and I remember she got like the Slender for Teens pads, and she's like, "I want you to take this up to the cash, and here's some money, and you're going to buy it yourself." I was like, "But I don't have my period." And, "Lindsay, you have to get prepared for this, because one day you are going to have to do it by yourself." And so things like that my mom prepared me for, I guess these are things that were kind of on her mind, obviously. So, you know, by the time I was about 14, I think people kind of felt like, "Well, Lindsay's okay. She's good." Right? Like, it's been 3 years. She's okay. But at 14, it's like, that's when you need your mom. You need a female role model so badly. Obviously, my relationship with all my kids is special, but the fact I had a daughter, because I got ripped from the mother-daughter relationship at an early age, that relationship with Haley is so much more impactful for me. Like, I really soak in everything with her, like, and try to feel it all. And, you know, there's times where Haley will grab my hand and she'll just like smell my skin. And I'm like, I remember doing that with my mom, like things like that. Right. And I'm like, oh my God, like it's so intense. But I love it. So glad that I got that.
One of the things I realized on my journey as a nurse and going through as a patient, I had my surgery booked in 2018 and I needed this specialty test with the radiography mammography machine. What that does is it puts radioactive dye in your bloodstream to then show up the cancerous cells before treatment. But because of a stat holiday, I wasn't able to receive this treatment, which pushed my surgery off for 2 weeks. Those 2 weeks were hell. Every time I looked in a mirror, I knew what I was fighting. It became a bigger concern for me to really want to be able to help other individuals that may be struggling in the same area. So the radiography mammography machine, we have one for all of southwestern Ontario. This will put 2 within the area for people to receive the specialty treatment.